Hi dancers! Today I'm here with Lucia Rios, a ballet dancer from the Opera Bordeaux. We will discover her path and her career as a dancer. Hi Lucia, how are you?
Hi, Leah. I'm great. I'm good. And you?
Good, thank you. I'll start asking you, how is your typical day structure?
Okay, so I have two types of typical day. My normal typical day, which is just rehearsals. We start with class at 11, from 11 to 12:30. Then we have a lunch break from 12:30 to 1. And then we have rehearsals, which are from 1 to 6. It could be from 1 to 2, our first rehearsal, then again from 2 to 3 or 2 to 3:30, then a little break, 15-minute break at some point, and then another rehearsal until 6. It's not always the same. Sometimes we have only 2 rehearsals, sometimes 1. Sometimes it's a whole afternoon of the same thing. It really depends on what we have to prepare. But yeah, usually it's like this from 11 to 6 in the afternoon. And then when we actually have performances, it's a little bit different. We start with class from 12 to 1:30. And then we have some rehearsals to practice for the evening show, usually not too long. From 2 to 4, 2 to 5 is the maximum we can have. And then in the night at 8 p.m. we have the show. So that's a day with show schedule. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Really interesting. And since you had a pretty long career until here, I would like to ask you, what role did you love most to play in your career?
Yes, well, the one I loved the most, I have two that I really loved, but the one that I really loved the most was Louise in the Nutcracker from John Neumeier in his version.
Wow.
And it was the most beautiful role I've ever danced. Also because it's very classical, and I really enjoy to dance classical things. And yes, it was beautiful because for once I had a lot of time to prepare it. I think I had like 3 months to focus on that. And it was great because many times we don't have that luxury, not only in my company or where I was, but everywhere in the world. Sometimes we don't get that much time to really focus in the role and prepare it. But this was the first time it happened to me, and I had a really good connection with my coach that was coaching me too. So I enjoyed so much the process, not just the shows, but the actual process. I felt like it made me much stronger as a dancer, technically, but artistically was for me the best side of it. So yes, that was my favorite role.
Wow. Yeah, Neumeier is a really good choreographer, wonderful choreographer.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest, I think, choreographers from
our times now.
Yeah. That he's still alive, that is something wonderful to still have him around. So
amazing. And now I would like to talk about the body in dance, which is really important. Have you ever been pressured in this regard? And if so, how did you deal with that?
Yeah. Well, not really pressured by other people. I will say us as dancers, we pressure ourselves
a lot.
many times. So I think that is more the problem, because we all have this like stereotype of a ballerina that has to be, like so small, so skinny, so, little and kind of almost looking fragile. And I think it's so wrong. And this has to change, I feel like it's been evolving and changing.
Yeah,
but I feel that, a female dancer should still be a woman and look like a woman, and, and like it should still be accepted and embraced to have, your curves or, your womanly shapes. And I don't think people as the audience want to go and see some, like, like a skeleton
Skeleton.
alive dancing
Exactly.
there. So I think that yes, for sure, many people have this issue, and many people are probably pressured. I will feel that more in the East, more in the Russia,
Yeah.
more there. It's really extreme. But I do feel that it's slowly opening up everywhere in the world, and it is getting a little bit better. That stronger ballerinas are needed now, and yes, you can't dance, you can't deliver, you can't do what you have to do if you are looking like that as well. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Nowadays there's choreographers that are so demanding, like the things they create is just so demanding from your body that there's physically no way you'll be able to dance those things
If you're a skeleton.
if
Yeah.
you are in that state. Yes. So I feel like slowly it's getting better, but still it's something that every dancer has to work mentally with yourself, and then just get rid of that taboo thing concerning the whole physical
Yeah.
thing, because it's not right, and there's so many people unhealthy and being sick and suffering. So yeah, but
Yeah, I mean,
sadly it's like this. Yeah.
ballet is a wonderful form of art, but as well, ballet dancers are athletes. So we have to find a balance, and ballet is evolving, choreography is
Exactly.
evolving. So the stereotype of a ballet body must evolve with the story of the ballet
Yes.
and the dance, because
Yes.
otherwise we look like a skeleton and we don't have the energy to.
Yes, the power to do
Exactly.
what you have to do. Yeah.
Exactly, that's important. Thank you, because I feel it's very important talking about this
Yes,
topic for
especially
all the young
now
dancers.
that we have like social media and all these things.
Exactly.
I feel like it's even worse than in the past, because
Yeah.
social media, it's great to help you with tools like this, what we're doing. This, I
Yeah.
think it's something great, but it can also be so bad to have all these things, because you just see all this perfection out there, and you see
Yeah, and
that you're
sometimes
not that, and then it's like it can be
frustrating.
really bad. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
Sometimes
feel
it's
lucky
also fake.
Exactly. Yes, and I
So-
feel lucky I didn't grow up with it, in one sense, because it's, yes, if you are weak, or if you are not secure of yourself or your body or whatever, it can make you much worse. So
Yeah,
we need
for
to be
sure.
smart how we use these things.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And have you ever had bad moments, such like injuries? How did you react?
Yes, sadly, I had a lot of injuries. That they always seem to come in the wrong time. Like whenever I was doing
Yeah.
well in my career, or everything was better than ever, then they came. So it was really hard. I mean, the best way I dealt with them was that I learned out of them, because I found myself like, yes, like let's say it was my foot, or it was my shin, or whatever it was. Every time after I had an injury, I learned so much about this area of my body that got injured.
Yeah.
I learned so much of my weaknesses. I learned of myself from my own body. I discovered more, like, why did this happen? Why not? So in the end, every injury made me stronger, because every place that I had something, I had to work so hard after, and do physio, and and make it stronger than it ever was before, so that nothing like that could happen again.
Yeah.
So that was the best thing, I think, just to focus in the positive side of it, even though it's hard to find one. But the positive was that I learned so much about anatomy and about my body and my weaknesses, that I feel like I am much stronger now than I was before. And yes, just to accept that there's nothing you can do about it, and that it's not your fault. Sometimes these things happen, because then sometimes you put yourself down too. But yeah, it's our career, and these things can happen, and that's how it is when you work with your body all day. So
Yeah.
yes, that's how it was for me.
Yeah, actually, our body is our tool, is the most important tool we
Yes,
have in dance. And I think nowadays it's important to do some prevention as well,
yes,
because at our times it was just like work, work, work. And if you have pain, shut up, go on, work, otherwise you
exactly. And that
will
was
not
also the
dance.
problem for me. Many times I
Yeah,
didn't listen to my body. So this really teach me the lesson when you're
yeah,
feeling really
because,
tired, when you're having pain here and
yeah,
pain there, and you are having a hard time to dance every day, then there's already something wrong, and you need to slow down, take a step back, and listen to your body. That way, you can prevent actually so many
exactly.
injuries. Many of mine would have probably been prevented if I did that,
Yeah, mine
but
too.
yeah, we learned
Yeah.
like this, now we know better for the future.
We learned the hard way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which choreographer did you work with excited you the most? And which one is the one you dream of working with?
So that question, actually, the one I enjoyed with working with the most is my previous boss, which is John O'Meyer,
Yeah?
because yes, I mean, I had the luxury, let's say, and I was lucky enough to work with him for 11 years in total. So I think that if I work
Wow.
for that long with him, it's because I really, really enjoyed, and I could get something out of him that it made me the dancer who I am today.
Yeah.
And yes, him is the one,
Okay.
even though I'm not working there anymore, but still it was the
It
best.
formed you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it made me who I am as an artist, um, as a dancer, and without him, I don't really know what actually I will be right now.
Yeah.
But yes, the he will be my chosen choreographer, and I would love to still work with him someday in the future if it will be
Okay.
possible. Don't know.
Yeah.
Also, the age, he's
Yeah.
getting older and older, and he's also, I don't know how much longer he's gonna be around as
Yeah. Of
director.
course.
That's life, right? And
Yeah.
then who would I like to work with? Well, in this case, I would like to say that I would rather go back in the ballet history, and would love to work with like George Balanchine, for example.
Me too.
Yes, yes, because I think I love the choreographers from now on, but I really feel that the ones from the past, they really marked our
Yeah.
ballet history and our evolution in dance.
Evolution. Yeah.
And I would love to have, yes, experienced that in my life, in my career. So I would say Balanchine will be if he'll be alive, then or if I could go back in time, he'll be a choreographer I would love to work with. But yes, at least I can wish now to get something to get to dance something from him.
Yeah.
I did only one production, only one ballet when I was in Hamburg,
Yeah.
which was Brahms Schoenberg Quartet.
Wow.
It was a really beautiful choreography and a great experience too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know I'm forgetting. I did
Oh yeah.
Serenade at Paris Opera. I danced this one, and yes, so I've done only two things. I wish I'm gonna get some more, hopefully,
Yeah.
in my
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
career, because yes, I really like it.
Yeah. You had Nanette Glushak as a coach.
No, no.
No?
For
Okay.
in Hamburg we had Maria
Yeah.
Cagliari, and she was really nice. She was not just a coach for the steps, like she even did my hair,
Wow. Yeah,
my
because
makeup. Yes,
yeah,
it
it's
was a
everything.
whole. It was
Yeah.
everything. Yes, it was the way to dance it, not just technically my face. It was a really special work that I keep in my heart. It was very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, Balanchine cared a lot about also the aesthetic and how
Exactly.
his ballerinas looked like. I
Yes.
mean, he would give a perfume, a different perfume to each dancer. So this, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's
It was
amazing
so on the
because
details of each
yeah,
each
you see the
ballerina.
love and the choice he made for each single ballet dancer. You're
Yeah.
not just a number, you are his
Exactly.
choice. So
Yes.
I think it would have been amazing.
Yes,
I mean,
and you can see it in his work. It's really projected.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Amazing.
beautiful.
And now I would ask you, how did you experience the transition from being a ballet student to a professional ballet dancer, working in a company, getting a salary, getting paid to dance, actually?
Yeah. Well, it was weird, a little bit strange. I was a student in Argentina, and then when I turned 14, I actually worked for 1 year with an Argentinian company.
Yeah.
So I actually became a professional already then when I
Wow.
was 14. But I was doing both things at the same time. I was still going to school,
Yeah.
trying to go to school in the mornings or in the evenings, and then
Okay.
going to work the whole day in this
Wow.
company. That was just for 1 year, and then I decided that I really have to finish school and focus in school, and that's when I went to Hamburg and I left Argentina and I went to Hamburg Ballet School. So for
Okay.
me, it was like I kind of became a professional for a whole year. Then I went back to school for 2
Yeah,
years.
because you were so young.
Yes, exactly. I went back to school for 2 years and then I started again. So when I actually started to work with 17, I already knew what
How
it's
it
like
was.
because I did it when I was younger. The only difference was that I was all by myself, living alone and paying my own bills and
Yeah.
all these things. But I didn't, like many people actually ask me about this transition, but I don't know, I didn't really feel it so much.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah, yeah.
didn't really feel it. First, I didn't really feel it because I already left my home country when I was 15.
Yeah.
So I was already on my own. That didn't really change. I was already on my own. So for me, the fact that I became a professional, it just changed that I have more responsibilities because
Yeah.
you need to dance on stage and you need to
Of course.
be able to jump in, replace someone, which is like this at the beginning. That's mostly what you do.
Yeah.
And start to be a grown up by yourself.
Yeah.
Have responsibilities, and then that makes you grow up. So, but yeah, it didn't feel such a crazy transition.
Change. Yeah. It went
no.
smoothly.
It went very smoothly, yes. And also my best friends from school, they joined the company as well. So I was still surrounded by the same people, and it was the same building that I knew, the same everything. So
Yeah.
it would have been different, I think, if I got a job in another company.
Yeah,
Then,
like
yes.
abroad with auditions,
Exactly.
different. Yeah, of course,
But
of
being
course.
the same place, was still the same building, the same opera that I was dancing already. It felt already like home. So
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's okay because you were just 14. So maybe it would have been so hard to get a job in another country at 14. So I think it was good that it went like this for you and for your growth.
yes, I mean, when I was 14, it was in Argentina that I got the job for 1 year. In Hamburg, I was 17. It was when I finished the school with 17.
The school. Yeah.
It's usually around that age, 17, 18, that we finish and then find.
Okay. And last question, we go a little bit back. I would like to ask you, how was your passion for dance born, and how was your training path?
So my passion, well, I was little. I was like 4, I think 3 or 4 or 5. And I didn't really have a hobby. I had nothing, I was just like, yeah, doing nothing. And then my mother was like, I think we should find you a hobby. So I tried like ice skating, and it was really bad. I don't really remember, but I do remember being in a corner crying.
Oh my
And
God.
then we tried like acrobatics, and the same. I remember standing in these like sticks, that they make you walk, these things. I was standing there crying. So I couldn't really find anything to do as a hobby until she took me to a jazz class.
Wow.
Which was just like little children like playing around mainly. But this, I really liked it. So I was doing jazz. I did jazz since that age, just for fun. And then when I was 8, the jazz teacher told me like, oh, we also have like ballet classes here, so I give you one for free to try. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? And I tried the ballet class, and I liked it much more than jazz, So I was like, ooh, I like this. So
Let's do it.
Eventually I was doing more ballet than jazz. And then, but I still thought it's just like a hobby or like a thing for fun, because that was what I was doing. That's why I started jazz.
How did you start?
And then my mother was like, but you know that you can also do this forever if you like. You can actually work for this. And I was like, how does that work? How can you work as doing this? This is just like a kids thing, So then we actually went to the theater in Argentina to watch a production, so that I will understand that you can actually work, And I was like, wow, like these are real life ballerinas, like working. They really get a salary and they live for this their whole lives. And I was like, I want to do that. I also want to dance forever. So that's how I started.
Wow.
Then eventually I changed schools, because this was just a small school in my neighborhood. Then I got into Teatro Colón school, which is the main school we have in Argentina. I started there with 10, and at the same time I was having my private school in the evenings.
Okay.
So
double work.
Yes. In the mornings I will go to the Teatro Colón school, which you start from 000. Like we follow also the Baganova method
training
of teaching. So you really start like, demi-plie in 16 counts. Kind of.
The basics.
The first years is really like that. So, but in the evenings I have my private teacher, which I was doing all of the advanced things with her. And with her, I will say that I learned the most. And with her, it's also the reason why I am the way I am, because I was very young and I was doing already really hard things that if you do as a kid, it's good because you don't think and you don't analyze, so you don't have fear for so many things. So she was really like my big teacher. But I think a combination of the two, of the really hard work in the mornings, really basic, and then in the evenings just doing hard advanced things, it was a very nice combination. So I had that. And then like I said before, when I was 14, I joined this company for 1 year. And when I was 15, I went to Hamburg. I did Hamburg Ballet School for 2 years. And then once I was 17, I started in the company.
Oh, wow. And then you went to the Paris Opera Ballet, right?
Yes. Then I went to Paris Opera Ballet. I didn't leave Hamburg because I was unhappy and I wanted to like leave, or like, I mean, I was thinking it would be a nice thing to discover another company, because there's so many other companies out there. I didn't want to be forever in the same one. But I was not unhappy or anything. And then I suddenly saw that there was a audition for Paris Opera, and I had this little girl's dream that I think so many of us have, right? When we are young, we dream of Paris Opera. So it's like, I'm just gonna try it and see what happens, just for me, for fun, to tell myself I did it and I tried
the
it.
audition.
So I did the audition, and then they offered me a contract for one whole season. So I was like,
super.
I have to, I have to try it, and it's now or never if I really wanna be able to be in Paris Opera and to say I've been there in the company, I work there, then I have to go. So that's what I did.
And after that, you went to when you went where you are now.
Yes. So after that, I am where I am now, which is I am in Bordeaux, in the National Opera of Bordeaux. It's very close to Paris, actually. It's 2 hours by train. And this is my first season. I just started now in September, end of August, September. So yes, I'm brand new here in the company, and I'm really liking it so far. It's a smaller company than Paris Opera, and here I feel like I'm gonna have more possibilities to dance, also because it's a smaller company.
Yeah, sometimes in the big companies we don't have much space to dance because their schedule of production is different. And
you have so many people that have been there from before you, or you have so many different categories, and there's a lot of things like this.
It's like bureaucracy.
Exactly.
A lot of bureaucracy sometimes, and hierarchy and all those things.
Yeah, and at this point where I am now, I just really want to dance, and I don't want to. I think if I will be 20 or something around that, then I could say, okay, maybe I can still try in a huge company like this, that takes years to go up or something. But right now, no, I just really want to dance, and especially after the whole. I need to get back on stage.
To go on stage, yes.
So I'm happy to be here.
Perfect. And I have a last question I would like to ask you. Which message would you like to send to the young dancers that are still searching their path in the world of dance?
Well, I will say that you need to be really sure that this is what you want, because you need to be committed 100%, not 200% actually.
Exactly.
If you are not, if you're
your
not,
whole life.
Yes, everything goes around this, what we do, and you need to be really committed that this is what you want. And I think for me the most important is to never forget the reason why you started, to never forget the little you know, that
where you came from.
Exactly. And we started to have fun and just to dance and enjoy. There was no more than that. And so many dancers lose themselves as we are more professionals, and then it becomes about pressure or stress or technique, or I don't feel good enough, I don't feel like this, like that. And then people going on stage and there's nothing, you know. When we all had that, we all had this little kid that
otherwise we wouldn't have started.
We wouldn't have started. So I think this is for me the most important thing, to don't forget the reasons why you do what you do, and to always remind yourself of that little excited kid you were, you know. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It was a real pleasure for me to have you here, and I'm sure our words will get to all the young dancers that are dreaming to be at your place. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Leah. I had a great time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.